I'm going to begin, Marlon, by asking, when you saw 50 Shades of Grey, were you instantly coming up with jokes while you were watching it? Or was it sort of an idea that came to you a while afterwards?
I came up with jokes when I was reading the book. I started reading the book before the movie even came out, and I was originally going to do a parody book. And then once I saw the movie, I said, can I curse?
Yeah, of course.
I was going to say, said, fuck the book. And I was just like, we're doing a movie. So, yeah, it was instantly. And that doesn't happen often, but it happened on this one.
So were you still drawing from the book, though, when you were writing the screenplay for 50 Shades of Black?
Once we saw the movie, the book went to the side. Actually, we had some scenes that was in the book that wasn't in the movie, and then we took it out and wanted to save it for the DVD. Yeah. That's really confusing, huh?
Yeah, just a touch. Did you have to ask permission from E.L. James to make this movie? How was that? How did that go down?
I didn't ask permission. We kind of just did it. With parody laws, you could kind of do it. And I had drinks with her. She's a wonderful lady. She could drink. Drank me under the table. My God. I don't know how she can write a book. If she drinks and writes books, I don't see how she spells anything correctly.
And did you tell her about the joke where her book being read out was used as torture?
I didn't do that. She said, well, I like your movie. I said, you'll like everything but one joke. Yeah. You're not going to like that. She goes, I'll have my kids see the movie then. I said, thank you. Yeah.
Have you ever, because obviously you've done sort of parodies before, have you ever bumped into anybody that you've kind of parodied after they've seen it, and have you kind of gauged their reaction?
I only do parodies about people who's behind I could kick. You don't see Mike Tyson in our movies. Mike Tyson bit my brothers. That was the end of doing jokes about people that could kick our behind. Yeah. If they could kick our ass, we ain't doing a parody.
Might explain.
You'll never see me do a rock parody.
No.
No.
Might explain the Kevin Hart jokes though.
I could kick his ass. Yeah. He's little.
Because you do seem to like a kind of parody. What is it about this particular subgenre that just interests you? Because obviously, Scary Movie, Haunted House, and now this.
Because I think look, I grew up on parody. My first movies, one of my first movies I ever saw was in theaters was Airplane, and I'm a big fan of Naked Gun, and I just think parody is kind of like cartoons when they were great, where you kind of make fun of society. It's really fun characters, and you pick a topic and like build this house of which you can make fun of everything that's going on in the movie, in the genre, and in society. So I just love the genre.
But was it more of a challenge potentially doing this than say Scary Movie, because you were using one movie as a kind of reference point as opposed to an entire genre?
It was definitely a lot harder to do this movie than Scary Movie, because Scary Movie you could kind of go through different movies. There's no movie like 50 Shades of Grey. We watch so many. There's Secretary. There's Secretary was 9.5 weeks. We watched a bunch of movies, but we just kept coming back to 50 Shades as his own original piece.
Yeah, but you did manage to get sort of Whiplash, Magic Mike.
Oh, gotta get some Magic Mike in there because but you notice we did flashbacks, and that's how we kind of infuse other movies. But it was hard to kind of veer from story. And at one point, we had the ending was going to be the Gone Girl ending, but we was like, this doesn't even make sense. So let's just stay with 50 Shades of Black. Great.
And I read an interview you did there where you said you don't like calling your work spoof. You like to see it as the jokes that perhaps the drama didn't find. Is that the case?
It's a comedic retelling of a movie that takes himself too serious, and so I do comedic. It's kind of like how Kanye takes I like remixing them. It's kind of like how Kanye takes an old R&B song or a gospel track, and he puts this beat behind it, he flips it backwards, he turns it up 132 BPMs, and you don't even recognize the song. You recognize it, but you don't. And it's just become something new and different for people that want to dance.
So what's the process like with, because obviously it's co-written with Rick Alvarez. I mean, do you just kind of sit there and just throw ideas? Are you just in a room just writing stuff down?
Pretty much. Sit there, watch movies, and throw different jokes out, create different spins on characters. It's a lot of research. Literally, you're sitting there for maybe 3 months just for 8 hours a day, just watching movies and thinking of jokes and going back and forth and ideas for scenes, and then you watch a movie over and over and over again. You go, oh, what about this? And you just get inspired. It's a lot of input before you can put output.
Because there's a lot of jokes that are quite sort of outrageous. But was there ever a joke that you came up with you just thought maybe that one won't make the movie?
I didn't edit. I just kind of I just go for it, man. There's nothing that we just go for it, and I think you kind of see that. There's a lot of oh no they didn't in the movie, and those kind of I like to do the stuff that people think but they're too afraid to say.
Because I mean there is this kind of satirical undercurrent to it. Is it quite difficult to balance that side with the sort of irreverence of the whole project?
No, I think because when you talk about the real stuff and edgy stuff and what's going on in society, it kind of grounds it a little bit, and so it gives it a little bit more meaning or depth to something so silly and crazy.
So what's your favourite joke in the movie? What's
In
the one
the
you're most
movie?
proud of? Yeah.
Rick came up with this one, but it makes me laugh. Craisins. I don't know why, but the thought is like when he goes, two things that get on my nerves, two things I can't stand. When you roll your eyes and craisins.
Yeah.
I don't even know what a craisin is, but that made me laugh. And Rick took it out the movie, and I was like, no, we're putting that back in. He was like, why? It's not. I was like, dude, you wrote something brilliant there. It's staying in. That joke's for me.
My favourite joke is when you just went, Keanu Reeves, he got lucky. That one. I like that one quite a lot. But you're hoping that fans of the franchise, of the 50 Shades of Grey franchise, will respond to this, or is this more aimed at those who weren't so keen on 50 Shades of Grey? But
It's aimed to those that hate the movie, that love the movie, and that didn't want to see the movie because it wasn't for them. If you like to laugh, 50 Shades of Black is for you. If you hate it Grey, you're going to love Black.
So just finally, 50 Shades Darker is upon us. 50 Shades Blacker, perhaps?
I don't know, man. I think this is my last parody. I think I'm going to go just do some regular comedies. I want to do different things, explore different things, flex different muscles. I'm working toward a special, and probably after that, work toward another special, stand-up, and then after that, a big tour, stand-up, and then after that, I'm probably going to do a concert movie. So, that's... And then between that, I got my show, Marlon, for NBC, and I got, other comedies that I'm working on, so...
I'm still waiting for the Requiem for a Dream sequel, but...
I don't think it's going to happen. I think last I checked... Jared Leto's arm got cut off, and Tyrone's in jail. So, good luck.
Yeah. Anyway, well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, bro.
It's a real pleasure. Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey You Guys!